Hi, this is Christine Dugan-Ihm with my Week 8 interactive journal, Cultural Diversity, Equity, and Global Perspectives, a retrospective reflection of what we've learned over this course, EDUU 681. Thanks for joining me. This presentation reflects on the importance of cultural diversity, equity, and global perspectives in education. I'll discuss how global perspectives enrich learning, how intersectionality shapes student experiences, and one strategy I plan to use in my teaching practice to support these goals. Global perspectives in education builds empathy and cultural awareness. It prepares students to live in a connected world, and it encourages critical thinking. Global perspectives can play a truly important role in education because they help students to see themselves as part of a larger and interconnected world. Exposure to global perspectives builds empathy, it broadens cultural awareness, and prepares learners to participate responsibly in a diverse society. For example, when students read about international figures or learn about global issues such as women's rights or migration, they begin to see connections between their own lives and those of others. UNESCO 2020 says that global citizenship education equips students with the values and skills necessary to promote tolerance, human rights, and sustainable development. My own learning experiences and studying in this credential course have shown me that students benefit greatly for myriad reasons when teachers intentionally bring in global voices and information. For example, if reading a novel about a family by an international author, the teacher could pair that text with short videos of young people talking about their lives from around the world, talking about family. Students can then reflect about the fictional characters' experiences with the real students' stories. This strengthens comprehension and empathy, and can even lead students to consider how literature connects to global human experiences, Nobel Prize kind of stuff. My students are young, but still I set the bar high and we introduce global stories in my classroom regularly. Let's see, next slide. I just mentioned that. We do bring international perspectives into my classroom. My classroom is multilingual, and we actually incorporate vocabulary that we learned from one of my students, a second grade student, introduces Spanish language vocabulary into our classroom. And it's, we all say the word and we write it down, and it's cute. Sorry, but I digress. So, my personal experiences, I have encountered global perspectives through coursework in this course, of course. Um, Personal research, which it's a hobby of mine. It's an avocation, and it always has been. Anthropology and multilingualism and that sort of thing. And my own lived experiences in a multiracial household also, and mixed diverse community. I was raised in a very diverse community, even though I was definitely not of the time. It just was back in New Jersey, where I come from, Haworth, New Jersey. There were all races. It was a an enclave, a socioeconomic enclave, but just happened to have many, many, many races. So I benefited from that. And I learned about global perspectives in education in these conversations that I've had, different educational philosophies from around the world and teaching practices. Um, for example, I observed how classrooms abroad incorporate multilingual practices and learning about other cultural traditions into their daily routines. In England, for example, it's anecdotal, but many foreign people that you meet people not necessarily from England, but people from, everyone, you meet people from Italy, you meet people from France, you meet people from China, Korea, and they all speak at least two languages, not terribly well necessarily, but they speak at least two languages and communicate their own language in English. These experiences have influenced my perspective by reminding me of the limitless possibilities in education and the potential of education. They also pushed me to think critically about whose voices are represented in curriculum materials. Um, as OECD 2019 reports, students in diverse classrooms perform better academically and socially when they're encouraged to engage with multiple perspectives and global viewpoints. We need to have broad and open classrooms where we are thinking and learning about the world. Next slide. Intersectionality in education. Intersectionality reminds us that students' experiences are shaped by overlapping aspects of identity, such as their race, their gender, their socioeconomic status, language, disability. Students don't just come in with one feature, they come in with many, many, many features. In education, this means students may face layered barriers to access and participation, but they also bring valuable strengths rooted in their identities. For instance, a bilingual student from a low-income family may face both linguistic and economic challenges while also offering rich cultural insights, and they do. Many. We had, I mentioned it in a previous video, this wonderful book called Too Many Tamales, which is a student that in my class that comes from, she's dual language and lower socioeconomic status, and has a hearing issue, disability, but brought in, talked about her family's tamale making tradition and brought in a lot of sunshine there and talked about how her family enjoyed reading that book together. Um, so our cultural differences may end up being, the students may end up being barriers, but they are also assets. And that has actually my educational philosophy has evolved because of this course and this course itself and also my whole degree course. Um, we have to design inclusive practices that consider these intersections, not just single identity categories, absolutely. According to the American Psychological Association, schools that recognize and respond to these overlapping factors are more successful in reducing inequalities and fostering student well-being. This reinforces the need for educators to move beyond a one-size-fits-all method of teaching. One strategy that I can use is culturally responsive story circles. Again, I really thought about this because I have a very young group and I have an LCM class. So these are students that are general ed, but are having trouble accessing that material. So, and I have, this year I'm K through 3, but I don't have any kindergartners. I have first, second, and third grade. So modifying a little bit, an idea that I was thinking about, culturally responsive story circles. In these groups, students listen to and read books that show their own culture and also share stories from around the world. And I know they love that anyway. Even though they're very, very young, they still appreciate where they come from and they enjoy sharing that and learning about it from each other. They really are into learning from each other. It's very cute. I have a small group, so we really can get a lot of good stuff done. Instead of formal roles, students can have simpler jobs like maybe like a picture finder, a question asker, a feelings sharer, so everyone can join in at their level. All students feel seen and valued. Story circles give students a safe place to practice sharing, listening, and connecting with ideas from many different voices. It helps students feel proud of who they are. It teaches kindness, empathy, and sharing, and it shows that the world has many different voices. It's kind of an exciting idea that I'm going to do with my students this year, incorporating, including my culture. We can talk and learn about that. Irish, mostly. Okay, let's see, next slide. Story circles make learning stronger in three important ways. First, they help students feel proud of who they are when they see their lives and families reflected in the stories. Secondly, they build kindness and empathy when students hear about other students' lives and feelings. Third, they show students that the world has so many voices and ideas, helping them learn how to be fair and respectful and curious about each other. According to Castle, CASEL, learning to listen and share and take another person's perspective builds the social emotional skills that help students in school and in life. And a conclusion. Global perspectives broaden learning. Intersectionality demands inclusive practices. And um, responsive strategies uh, enhance equity and enhance connection between people. So reflecting on cultural diversity, equity, and global perspectives in this course has reinforced my commitment to teaching practices that are inclusive and globally minded. It genuinely has. Global perspectives enrich student learning. Intersectionality requires us to meet diverse needs. And strategies like literature circles offer practical ways to affirm identities while building empathy. Together, these approaches help create classrooms where all students can thrive. I'm really excited to bring this forth. Honestly, do we talk about emotion very much in school? I don't know, but love really is a big part of my practice. And when I look in the students' faces that I am entrusted with every year, I'm humbled and filled with a sense of very, how could I say, enthusiastic and loving responsibility to be their tutelary and help to welcome them in, make them feel welcomed, and hopefully broaden their academic, social, emotional horizons a little bit and help all of us become better people and value ourselves and others just a little bit more. Here are my references. Thanks very much. I know I tend to go on a little bit about it. Thanks very much. Have a lovely day.